Hello students, welcome to another session of All Force e-learning program. I am DNR, your physics lecturer. Now from today onwards, let us start a new chapter, a new topic in physics, very important topic in physics called motion in a straight line. A very important topic regarding the entrance examination, motion in a straight line. Now, coming to this, with respect to its weightage in any entrance examination, you take any initial entrance examination, there is a compulsory question based on this. Any entrance, whether it is JEE Mains or advanced or NEET, at least there is an application of this in other chapters. You know, this is a chapter which can be applied to many other chapters. It can be linked to Newton's laws of motion, it can be linked to work power energy, it can be linked. Same thing what you study is analogous to circular motion also, in rotational motion also. Rotational kinematics you see. Right? Similarly, you can explain this for a charged particle in the electric field. So this way a very important topic. So you have to be careful in understanding each and every term. Okay, right? So let me start with the things. So motion in a straight line. Now let's understand what do you mean motion. Well, to the opposite to it, it is rest. You know, it is stated that any body in the universe has two states: state of rest, state of motion. Rest is the state of a body where the body remains at the same position for all the times. At any time, the position of the body remains same with respect to the surroundings. If you imagine a reference frame, a frame of reference, right, with respect to the frame of reference, in a frame of reference, origin, you know what is a frame of reference? A Cartesian 3D system. This is origin, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, with respect to a three-dimensional frame. In this three-dimensional frame, imagine a body, any point, let it be at any point P. If the position of the point remains same at P for all the times, the body is said to be at rest with respect to this frame. Then similarly, so it is all with respect to the frame there. So whenever you want to define the motion of a body, you have to imagine a frame. So with respect to the frame, right, an observer is looking from that frame. So with respect to that observer, the body, if the position of the body remains same, it is at rest. If the position of the body is changing with time, then the body is said to be in motion. So every body has two states: rest and motion. Rest and motion. Any body, if the position of the body remains same with respect to the time, with respect to the surroundings for all the time, and the body is said to be at rest. If the position of the body is changing continuously with respect to time and with respect to surroundings, then the body is said to be in motion. So that way you define the two states of a body: rest, motion. Well, when the body is moving, motion are of different types. If the body is moving such that only in one direction, if it is moving only in one direction, then the body is said to be moving in a straight line. If the body is moving in a curve, right, a body moves in a curve like this, then it is curvilinear motion. If a body moves in a straight line, it is straight linear motion. Curve, if it moves in a curve, it is a curvilinear motion. And if this curve comes back, if this curve again returns back to the same point, periodic motion. If it is a perfect circle, it is circular motion, so on and so forth. So according to the motion of the body, you define the. So what do you mean motion in a straight line? If the change in position of a body takes place with respect to only one coordinate, either x or y or z, then the body is said to be moving in a straight line. So the body moving in a straight line like this is a body. From body starting from point A, this is a body from point A, goes to point B, right, without changing its direction. The body is said to be moving in a straight line if the body moves without changing its direction. Then, so this is termed as, this is referred as motion of a body in a straight line, right? Straight line motion of a body. Now coming to motion, when you talk about the motion of a body, now when you consider the motion of a body, there are certain parameters which define the parameters which defines the motion, which calculate the amount of distance it has covered, path. So there are some parameters which we have to learn regarding the motion. The first one is distance. Well, the distance covered by a body, d. Distance of a body, d. Now, if a body is moving from one point to another point, it can move in any path, right? Of course, if a body moves in a straight line, it is motion straight line. Suppose if a body is moving in a curvilinear motion like this, it moves from A to B. The total length of the path covered by the body between the initial point and final point, the point from which the body starts its motion at t equal to 0, that is initial point. The point, the final point where it reaches, the body reaches the terminal, the body reaches the final point, the terminal point. Now this is referred as final point. Between the initial and final point, the body covers a path. There is a path. The total length of the path, considering each and every point on the path like this, that is called path length, or it is referred as distance. The total length of the path is referred as distance, measured in centimeter, meter or kilometers, even millimeters. There are millimeters like this. Different distances. Usually in CGS we take centimeter, in MKS we take meters. Its dimensional formula is m. So m0 L1 T0, is it? Its dimensional formula, right? The formula which refers, the formula which represents the quantity in terms of fundamental quantity, dimensional formula. So it is m0 L1 T0, and it is independent of direction. So it's a scalar. It has no direction, it is a scalar. It's a mere number with some point. It's a mere number with a proper unit. Is it? So the total path length of the path. This is called distance. You know, distance is a scalar, it cannot be negative, it is always positive. Well, it can be 0. If the body doesn't move, the distance is 0. Whenever the body moves, it is a positive value. It cannot be negative, right? So distance covered by the body is the path length. Now there is another parameter which explains the amount of motion, the quantity, how much it has moved, right? So the amount of motion it has covered, the distance, the measure of the motion, that is given by the displacement. So this is also measured in same unit, same dimensional formula, but it is a vector quantity. What is displacement? Displacement is, suppose if the body moves from initial point A to final point B, the path, this is the path covered, right? This is initial, starting at t equal to 0. This is the final point at a time t. Then the path length, the total length of the path is distance. Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final point. The shortest distance, straight line distance, or distance taken in one direction joining the initial to final point. So this displacement, distance, this is referred as displacement. The shortest distance, straight line distance, or distance in one direction. Now this is referred as the displacement. So S displacement is AB bar. Now this is a vector, it has magnitude and direction. So magnitude of direction, magnitude of the displacement, it is mod AB. The length of this line segment AB. So this is length of the line segment, length of line segment AB. Straight line segment AB. That is the magnitude. Well, direction is from A to B. If it is along x-axis, right, it is along x. If If it is along x-axis, then you can refer it as I cap. You have learned in vectors. Unit vector along x-axis is I cap. Unit vector along y-axis is j cap. Unit vector along z-axis is k cap. So in whatever direction it is going, according to that you can assign the direction. If it is x-axis, you put I. So displacement, it is mod s I cap. If it is along y-axis, mod s j cap. If it is along z-axis, mod s k cap. That way you refer the displacement. So this displacement s bar is a vector quantity. It has magnitude and direction. It can be positive, negative, 0. It can be anything, right? If it is moving along positive x direction, plus x, plus I, negative direction, minus, right? So the direction is minus. Magnitude is always positive. You know, magnitude of a vector is always positive. Magnitude is always positive. Direction is negative. Well, negative, the sign positive, negative is either a convention or a direction. We have learned in vectors, minus sign, plus sign. The sign is assigned with respect to its entity, right? So according to that we define. So displacement covered by a body, it is the shortest or straight line distance. Now, comparing these both, can ever distance be equal to displacement? The answer is no. Distance and displacement cannot be equal. Distance is a scalar, displacement is a vector. A scalar can never be equated to a vector. You cannot say distance is equal to displacement. You can say distance equal to magnitude of displacement. So, can distance be equal to the magnitude of displacement? Well, equal. So, can this be equal to this magnitude? Yes. If the path, distance is the path, but the displacement is a straight line. If the path itself is a straight line from A to B, the path itself is a straight line. So path is straight line and displacement is also the distance, the path, distance along straight line. So both are equal. So the body moves in a straight line. So distance is equal to displacement. So in this chapter, where we take up the motion of a body in a straight line, so it is moving in a straight line. So in all such cases, wherever the body is moving in a straight line, you can take distance is equal to magnitude of displacement, right? Now, usually distance is either more or equal to displacement, b greater than or equal to mod s, or displacement is less than or equal to distance, because it is the shortest distance, least distance, right? So mod s by d less than or equal to d, displacement less than or equal to distance, like this. Now, if I consider certain examples, like for example, suppose if a body moves from A to B in one direction through a distance x, then from B to C perpendicular to AB through a distance y, right? Then what is the distance and displacement? Well, the distance covered by the body d, it is the total length of the path x plus y, so it is x plus y. Then if I take the displacement, this is the initial point, this is the final point, so this is the displacement covered. So S bar. So the displacement is AC bar. Magnitude of displacement is length of the segment AC. But what is AC? From this right angle triangle it is, you can apply Pythagoras theorem. So applying Pythagoras theorem from the triangle ABC, applying Pythagoras theorem, we get AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So therefore AC square is x square plus y square, or AC is under root of x square plus y square. Well, the magnitude of the displacement is root of x square plus y square. This it is. Now sometimes he'll ask you to find out what is the ratio of these both. What is the ratio? Ratio of the distance to displacement magnitude. It is x plus y by root of x square plus y square. The ratio of displacement, x plus y by root of x square plus y square, like this. So the ratio, distance, whether the body moves in a path like this, right? So when it moves in a rectangular path, you can find it like this, distance and displacement. Well, sometimes how much distance is more than displacement? So distance greater than displacement, mod s. So this is x plus y minus of under root of x square plus y square. right? By how much the distance is more when compared to displacement. So it is x plus y minus of how much extra path length, how much the path length is more than displacement. This way you can find out. So this way, this is one of the example like this, distance displacement. Well, if the same body moves in a circular path, if the body is moving in a circle like this, a circle of radius r, let us say, right? The body starts from point A, this is the initial point when time is 0, and the body moves along the path like this and reaches a point B. This is reaching a point B here. Along the curved path, along the circular path, the body is moving along the circle like this of radius r. Then when it goes from A to B, so case 1, when the body moves from A to B, so it has subtended an angle theta 90 degrees. It has now subtended an angle theta 90 degrees at the center of the circle. Then in this case, what is the distance covered? The distance covered D is path length, the length of the path. So this is the path length covered by the body. You know, this path length is, if I take the total perimeter of a circle, total perimeter we know it as 2 pi r. This is 1/4 of it. So the distance covered is 2 pi r by 4, 1/4 of the perimeter is. So it's 1's 2's, it's pi r by 2 distance covered. Now how about the displacement covered? Displacement of the body, yes, magnitude of the displacement. Well, the displacement is the hypotenuse. The path, the displacement is the hypotenuse from A to B in this case. So this is equal to, now in this right angle triangle, from the right angle triangle OAB, applying Pythagoras theorem again. So AB square is equal to OA square plus OB square. Right, so therefore AB square is equal to OA is R, OB is R. So it's R square plus R square. So AB is under root of 2R square. This is root 2R. So this is root 2 times R. This way the distance and the displacement. Again, so it's pi r by 2. So you can substitute pi as 22 by 7. So this is 22 by 7 into r by 2, 2 1's 11, it's 11 r by 7. Well, this is root 2 times r. Sometimes he'll ask you to find the ratio of distance to displacement. Ratio, divide distance to displacement. So 11 r by 7 by root 2, r cancel, 11 by 7 root 2. How much is distance more than displacement? Subtract 11 by 7 minus root 2. So there is difference, how much distance is more than by displacement. Subtract both. So that way you can find out the thing. Similarly, case 2. Suppose if the body moves from A to C here. If the body moves from A to C. Now A to C, this is, the body has covered this path. So the total angle theta is 180 degrees. The total angle covered is 180 degrees. Then the distance covered by the body, distance of the body. So D is equal to, now it is half the perimeter of the circle. So it is pi r, 22 by 7 r. Is it? So therefore 22 by 7. Now coming to displacement. Mod S, well, it is initial point and this is final point. This is the displacement. We know the definition for displacement. It is the straight line distance between initial and final point. So the diameter of the circle. So this is 2r. Now what is the ratio? It is r cancel, 11 by 7 it is. Initially it's all 11 by 7 root 2. It's 11 by 7 now. Difference is 11 by 7 minus 2. You can subtract and get the thing there. So that way you can find out for it. Then the third case, case 3. Suppose if I take the third case, if theta is equal to case 3, if theta is the body moves from A to D, the body has come from A to D like this. So it has subtended, it has reached this point. So A to D, now the angle covered is 270 degrees. then the distance of the body, d, distance d. Now it has moved 3/4 of the circle from here to here. 3/4 of the circle. Well, let me show by the. In the earlier case, from A to B, the path was A to B like this. A to B. In the second case, from A to C, the path was A to C like this. In the third case, from A to D, right? Now the third case, the path is like this. From here, so therefore now the distance covered is 3/4, 3/4 of the circle. It's 3/4 of 2 pi r, 1's 2's, it's 3/2 pi r. Right? You will get it as 33/7. 3/2 into, so it's 3/2 times 22/7 r. 1's 11's, it's 33/7 r. Well, the displacement again is root 2 r again, because again you will get the hypotenuse, is it? So it is A into D, so it's AD bar, so it's root 2 r again. And finally, when the body completes A back to A, then theta is 360 degrees. Distance is perimeter 2 pi r 44/7 r, but displacement is 0. The body has come back to the same point again. The body has come back to the same point here. So the displacement covered is 0. Distance is 44/7 r. That is, this is 11/7 r. This is 11/7 r, 22/7 r, 33/7 r, 44/7 r. Root 2 r, 2 r, root 2 r displacement is 0. So this way, when the body moves in a circular path, you can find out the distance and displacement covered by a body for the body in motion. When the body moves in a circular path, distance and displacement covered by the body in when the body moving in a circular path. So in this session we have just learned about the state of rest, state of motion. If the body remains in the same position with respect to surrounding, it is said to be at rest. If the body is moving, the change in position refers to the motion of the body. Well, if the change in position takes place in one direction, it is motion in a straight line. So whenever a body moves, it is moving along a path. The length of the path is distance. Or path can be anything. And the shortest of the straight line distance is called displacement. Right? Displacement can be 0, can be positive, can be negative according to direction. Distance is always positive. Well, if the body is at rest, then the distance is also 0. Whenever the body moves, distance is always positive. Right? So for various cases we have referred, if the body moves in a straight line, if it moves in a plane, right, in a circle. So this way you can ask you questions in different paths. So you please try out some examples regarding this distance and displacement. In the next session we'll speak about speed and velocity, the various types of speeds and various types of velocities. Right. Thank you. Yes, suppose a question, this was a previous entrance question that was asked in one of the entrance examination. From a height h, from an elevated point, height h like this, a body is thrown vertically up. So the body rises an additional height small h and now lands onto the ground. So from A to B. Body is already at a elevated point, that is at a height h. From there the body is projected still vertically up, it is thrown. So it rises an additional height small h, reaches a point P and again reaches the ground. So the body has moved along the path A, B and C. Now the question is, what is the distance covered and the displacement covered? Distance and displacement. Well, the distance covered is total length of the path. What is the path? From A to B and from B to C. This is the path. So A to B is small h and B to C, this is small h plus capital H. So A to B plus B to C. So A to B is small h, B to C is small h plus capital H. Small h plus capital H. So it is 2 small h plus capital H. Well, coming to displacement, the magnitude is, this is the initial point, this is the final point. This is initial A, this is final point. So the displacement is length of the segment AC. It is magnitude of the length of the segment AC. So length of AC, simply AC. Now what is AC H? So the magnitude of displacement is capital H. Well, the direction is downward. So when you write the displacement is capital H in downward direction. It's downward direction. Right, so distance, it is just simply a scalar. So distance covered is equal to 2h plus capital H, and the displacement covered is capital H in the downward direction. Right, so this way a question can be asked. There are many such questions, so you can just make out the things and find the thing. Find out the distance and displacement in various aspects. You can take a triangle, you can take a square, a rectangle in a plane, right? So body moving in a plane. So in those things you can find out all the path lengths and the displacements, right?